Hey everyone, Kilted here. Look, I'm trying my new camera setup here. I actually got an off-brand action camera, so it's an off-brand GoPro, but it came with a wired mic. So I'm sorry if the beard gets in the way. Okay, I do apologize for that. I'm trying. I mean, I guess I could hook it like up here, like I'm seeing folks do, but I don't want to. So I'm trying to link it further down. Anyways, I am going to sit here and show a little bit of steam bluing, also known as rust bluing. When I do it, I don't use the term rust bluing because then people freak out. Oh my God, you're rusting my gun, that kind of thing. But I'm actually going to sit here and take this camera and strap it to my chest, so this cord might get in the way, but I'm going to try really hard for it not to. That way I can kind of show y'all my process. So hang tight, okay? Okay, so first off, this is what I used to use, the classic American rust bluing solution, right? I used to order this from Brownells. Brownells no longer carries it. I haven't seen it for sale at Midway. I've tried going to them, the Plinkerton Gun Co. out of Oklahoma. I haven't been able to find this anywhere. I've used this up. Usually what I'll do, and some of the older ones will actually recognize these, this is just a little film canister, right? But I would actually fill this about halfway full. That way fat fingers could actually get in there and get the solution. So now what I'm going to is this Rust Blue, rustblue.com, okay? Made in the USA, so on and so forth. I know it says German formula here at the bottom, but it's the exact same for the American rifles, German rifles, and a few others. So I'm trying this out. I don't really know how it's going to go, but I'm trying it out. So whenever I use bluing solutions, of course I always glove her up with latex gloves or neoprene gloves, and I try to use sterile gauze, okay? This stuff is fairly cheap. You can pick it up in bulk online. And I love them. I love just these 1.5 inch ones. They do really good. But this one's already been through once. I'm waiting for it to finish cooling off so I can card it and do it again. But basically we will sit here and degrease everything, and you can see just the buildup of rust here, because that's what we're doing. We're actually trying to make the gun rust, and then we're going to card it. Okay, so I've got the little parts in here in my little steam pot, okay? This steam pot is basically a Walmart special hot plate with a Walmart special stainless steel pot with lid, a 4-inch flange that I picked up at a hardware store, screwed it in and sealed it, drilled some holes in the lid after removing the lid handle, and then just a piece of PVC, right? And at the top, I've cut it out to where I can have just an old broom handle to hang everything on, and so on and so forth. Now, we've got to wait until this gets done, and then I'll take you over to the carding wheel. Okay, so I basically have this old Eastwood lathe. When I bought this one was actually bounced off the ground a few times and thrown off a truck, everything else. So it's damaged pretty good. I wouldn't trust it for lathe work anymore, but it works pretty good for what I'll be doing here. So I've got my carding wheel in. I've gotten everything tightened down. You see there's no tooling or anything over here, so on and so forth. The back cover that covers all of this was broken into several different pieces. The actual stock here, the bed movement is just not great. So like I said, I don't use this for lathe work. I use this for polishing and carding and things of that nature. Okay, but before I actually get a piece of metal on it, I actually want to just show you a carding wheel, because most people are going to look at this and just see, oh, it's a wire wheel. I can pick one of those up at Home Depot. I can pick one of these up at Harbor Freight. No, you can't, okay? Because we've got this going at about 1,500 RPMs right now. Bare hand. Nothing. No blood, no pain, no nothing. Little bit of heat. Friction heat as hell. Right? But, yeah. And you can hear it do that. I didn't touch the knob. It just, it's not very good as a lathe anymore. But for this, it's absolutely perfect. Okay, so these just came out, right? It's been in there about 20 minutes, so these are pretty hot to the touch. Oh, you're touching it with your bare hand. It's on the back. We're good. Okay, calm down. But you just see how fine of a mist we got. But if you also look right here on the sides where it's starting to dry out, how we got this fine sugar rust, right? And we got some fine sugar rust up here at the top, okay? That's what we're really looking for. So I'm going to sit here and wait for all of this wetness of the steam to come off of each of the parts. And oh, here's another one here that I think might be a little bit better to show. Hold on. Beep. You know, this is the front lug. You can really kind of see that sugar rust there on the top. Okay? So all of this, once it finished drying, which is not going to take long in this shop because it's 100 degrees today outside in Mississippi with like 70% humidity, so it's been pretty daggum hot. And yeah, it's not going to take long, so hang tight. Okay, so we got the part. And once again, you just see all that sugar rust. We didn't get a lot on this side, but that's okay, right? Now those of you that are sitting here, well, you just degreased everything. Why are you touching it with your hands and it's covered in acid and all of that? For the most part, it's neutralized. Now, I'm not going to sit here and touch all this that's, right? But just chill. And just take a look at that. Now, is this the final level of bluing that I'm going to do? No, right? But this is a start. We're already getting really good. Let me grab some oil and I can really show you. Okay, so this is just some Lucas gun oil. Oh, why don't you use Ballistol? You like Ballistol? I love Ballistol, but Ballistol is made to get rid of rust. We just worked really hard to rust this. Okay? But now you can really see that bluing. Okay, let's do one more part. So this is the butt pad. Now this has got a lot of that good rust on it. Let's see how it turns out. Now when I started this, these were pretty much in the white, right? And you see now, it's kind of got a grayish hue to it. Once again, just a little bit of Lucas gun oil just to kind of show it off. And you can see that it's getting better, right? So I've probably got about 2, maybe 3 more runs through just to make this a nice solid, so we got dark spots and everything else. I'm going to try to blend all that in. Okay, so this is the same butt plate and everything. You still see it's covered in rust. I'm going to sit here and card it right fast. And once again, this thing is so soft, it doesn't even tear my gloves. And there we go. So now let me get some oil on it so you can really kind of see how the finished product's going to look. Okay, so you see a little bit of oil up there. Now you might still be able to make out a few little spots, but I'm almost positive that will not be a problem. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Now I've had to leave out a few steps, understand that, you know, the YT doesn't like full stuff sometimes. But that's pretty much it. Now, since everything has been exposed to water and rust and that kind of thing, I do have it in a water displacing fluid. Am I going to tell you what that is? No. Okay. That's something that I don't do. Okay. But after it will soak in it overnight, about 12 hours plus, then tomorrow I'm going to pull everything out, dry it all off, and then I actually coat everything with grease and let it sit for a few days that way before getting all the grease off and going that far. Now, people can understand the water displacing fluid because we have exposed it to a lot of water and that kind of thing, so we need to get the water out of the pores of the metal and also, you know, neutralize that chemical agent. But some people don't understand the grease. The grease, in my opinion, this is just me, helps really well to set that bluing. In the past, I've pulled it out of the water displacing fluid, cleaned it up really well, so on and so forth, and it still just, it lost some of its luster. You see what I'm saying? But when I've pulled it out, basically blew all the fluid off of it, and then coated it in grease and just set it in a dark corner for 2 or 3 days, then pull it out, it seems to really set a lot better. Am I going to tell you what type of grease? No, I'm not. Sorry. But as gunsmiths, there are little things that we do that are a little different, right? That we keep to ourselves, right? It's our own little recipe, I guess you could say. But yeah, I hope y'all have enjoyed this. It was a nice little short video. With this one, I still have to finish the stock because it needed a little bit of AccuGlassing, which I've shown plenty of time in the past, and it also needed just some oil added to it to really soak in and to get to being better than what it was. So anyways, if y'all have any comments, let me know below, and I'll try to answer them the best that I can. Anyways, y'all have a good one. And here we have it, finished up and completed. Me. So we got that receiver back to a wonderful luster. All the metal pieces are good. Butt plate, You can still make out a few of the really bad rust spots, but they have honestly pitted, and short of sitting here and sanding it all down, so on and so forth, it just wasn't going to get much better than that. But I don't think the customer is going to really be able to tell. Unfortunately, and I'm going to say this again, unfortunately, when he brought this to me, everything was already taken off the stock. I mean, I was given a barreled action and a stock and a bag of parts. And he had already sanded this stock down pretty good. I've tried cleaning that up and fixing it the best that I can, but you have to remember, you know, especially on these, granted they've got either a locking screw or a bar, but still you just don't want them to be loose, because if they're loose they could sit in here and kind of do this number. This one doesn't. I cleaned it up the best that I can. All in all, a really nice shooter. This should be fitting in just about any collector's collection, and I know that's what he was really wanting. So yeah,